You won't believe what happened when thousands of Kenyan Gen Zs stormed this church. A young TikToker, broken down, in tears, standing before a crowd that came for him. But why? What could make an entire nation drop everything and flood into one building? The answer will shake you. On October 5th of 2025, Jesus Compassion Ministries, or popularly known as JCM, the place is packed wall to wall, cars lined up for miles, struggling to control the crowds, and at the center of it all, a 17-year-old boy who never expected any of this. His name, Vincent Kaluma, better known as Kaluma Boy. But here is where it gets insane. Just 1 week ago, this teenager was living in a humble home in Odaya, Nyeri County, caring for his paralyzed father, barely making ends meet. But now, he is standing before thousands, cameras flashing, pastors praying, and the entire nation watching. How did we get here so fast?
Guys, kesho ni ile siku, mjitokeze kwa wingi saa 6 Kenyan time. Najua JCM itakuwa imejaa. Na mimi si bahatishangi. Guys, mjitokeze kwa wingi, wenye mnatoka Kisii, karibuni sana, wenye mnatoka Busia. Guys, mjitokeze kwa wingi.
And more importantly, why is everyone crying? Buckle up, because this journey from desperate to divine intervention is unlike anything you have ever had. Let me take you back, because understanding this moment requires understanding the pain that came before it.
Salam guys, I know all roads are leading to JCM Church, and as you're giving thanks to God, I know most of you are shocked.
On August 2023, Kaluma Boy's father, Zachary Kahoro, suffered a massive stroke. One moment, he's a healthy man, providing for his family. The next, he is in a coma, fighting for his life. But here is the devastating part. Kaluma was preparing for his KCSE exams at Karima Boys High School. Imagine being 17, facing your final exams, and suddenly your entire world collapses. Your father and your hero lying unconscious in a hospital bed. 3 months, that's how long his father remained in that coma. Medical bills piling up, and the young boy forced to grow up overnight. On December 2024, his father woke up, but the nightmare wasn't over. The stroke left him paralyzed, unable to speak properly, completely dependent on others for everything. And who stepped up? This teenage boy, while other kids his age were out there with friends or going to parties. Kaluma was feeding his father, bathing him, changing him, and becoming a nurse, a caregiver, and a source of hope. The financial burden was crashing on him. Medical expenses, daily care, basic necessities. Where was the money going to come from? The family savings all gone. Extended family help very limited. Government support insufficient. This young man was drowning, but he refused to give up. So what did he do? He turned the only platform he knew, TikTok. But that is not all. Wait until you see what happened when he posted his first video. The response was so overwhelming, so unexpected that it caught the attention of not just regular Kenyans, but influential pastors, politicians, and even international viewers. Keep watching, because the transformation that's about to unfold will restore your faith in humanity. On September 28, 2025, mark this date, because this was when online compassion became physical reality. Hundreds of TikTokers, content creators, and regular Kenyans converged on Odaya, cars, matatus, motorcycles, all heading to one small home in Nyeri County. Security personnel were overwhelmed, roads became parking lots, and local residents came out of their homes, wondering what major event was happening. And when they arrived at Kaluma Boy's home, the scene was surreal. Gifts, food, mattresses, clothes, household items, cash donations, medical supplies, and the small compound couldn't contain the crowd. But here is where things get truly emotional. Kaluma Boy's father, Zachary Kahoro, weak and struggling to speak, addressed the crowd. For the first time since his stroke, he spoke publicly. His words were slow, labored, but filled with gratitude. Cameras captured every moment. TikTokers streamed it live, and across Kenya, people watching on their phones broke down in tears. One TikToker commented, "I'm literally chopping onions over here." Another one said, "This is what Kenya should do about unity and love." The scene was chaotic yet beautiful. Strangers embracing, people praying together, shared tears of joys and relief. And at the center of it all stood Kaluma, this young man who never sought fame for attention. He just wanted help for his father, and Kenyans answered in the most overwhelming way possible. Bishop Kiengei of Jesus Compassion Ministries Church was among those touched by the sad story. He reached out personally, promising support, offering medical assistance, and doing something even more significant, inviting Kaluma Boy for a special Thanksgiving service at his church. You've heard it all before. Gen Z is lazy. Young people only care about social media. This generation has no values. But what did we just witness here? Gen Z mobilizing for good. TikTokers using their platforms for meaningful change. Young people showing up not for parties or trends, but to support one of their own in crisis. The cynics said social media was destroying society. But here is the truth. Social media became the vehicle for one of the most beautiful displays of community support Kenya has seen in very many years. Without Facebook, without TikTok, or without X, Kaluma's story might have remained unknown, his struggle invisible, his father's condition without hope. And here is another layer to this story. Economic hardship in Kenya is real. Many families are struggling, yet people still give. They gave from their lack, not their abundance. That's sacrificial love. That's what makes this movement so powerful. The traditional structures, government safety nets, healthcare systems, insurance coverage, they failed this family. But community showed up, neighbors helping each other, strangers becoming family, and the digital connections becoming real-world impact. Bishop Kiengei, a man known for his large personality and generous spirit, welcomed the event enthusiastically. He went on radio confirming the service, addressing concerns, making one thing clear: everyone was welcome. Politicians welcome, regular citizens welcome, TikTokers who contributed welcome, people who couldn't contribute but wanted to celebrate were all welcome. There were questions, of course. Some wondered if politicians would use the event for campaigns. Bishop Kiengei addressed this directly on Kameme FM. This is a house of God. Everyone is welcome to worship, but this day is about thanksgiving, not politics. The church started preparations, extra seating, sound systems, security arrangements, but honestly, nobody knew what to expect. Would 100 people show up, 500, or even more? Behind the scenes, Bishop Kiengei did something else beautiful. He took Kaluma Boy shopping, new clothes for the service, proper attire, not because his old clothes weren't good enough, but as a gesture of honor, dignity, restoration. When you have been carrying heavy burdens, sometimes new clothes symbolize a new chapter, a fresh beginning, or renewed hope. So what's the takeaway from all this? What is the lesson that transcends this specific story? First, your struggle is not the end of your story. Kaluma thought he was facing impossible circumstances, but God used that very struggle to connect him with thousands who would change his life forever. Second, community matters. We are living in an increasingly individualistic world, but this story proves we need each other. Your breakthrough might come from the collective support of people who genuinely care. Third, social media can be a force for good. Yes, there is toxicity online, there is negativity, but when used properly, these platforms can mobilize resources, spread awareness, and create real-world impact. Young people are not lost generation. The Gen Zs showed up, they gave, they cared, they proved that beneath the surface of trends and memes, there beats hearts of compassion and action. God sees you even when you think nobody notices your struggle. He's preparing your breakthrough. He's aligning your divine connection. He's orchestrating testimonials from your tests. What started with a sick father and a desperate son became a nationwide movement. What began in simple TikTok videos has become a blueprint for how communities should respond to crisis. What looked like an ending has become a beginning of healing, of hope, and of possibilities. If this story moved you, if it inspired you, if it challenged you to be more compassionate, share it, like this video, subscribe to stay updated on Kaluma Boy's journey, and most importantly, look around your own community. Who needs help? Who is struggling? Who is silent? And who could use a lifeline? Be that person for someone else.